that they see us, but they don't see us. Like we don't matter. And I think one reason why they do that is because I think people are really intimidated or terrified of the power the Black woman really holds.
The WNBA has an undeniable place in the history of sports glory and activism. However, the best women's professional basketball league in the world still fights for the attention, popularity, and respect they deserve. Now, some of the resistance is twofold. The majority of those women are Black, putting the league at the crossroads of combating both sexism and racism. Let's keep it real. WNBA players have put their money where their mouth is and once again stand at the front lines fighting for justice and equality.
I am here with three esteemed women, excellent hoopers and athletes. I have 3-time Olympic gold medalist, 4-time WNBA champion with the Houston Comets, Sheryl Swoopes. Now we take it to another excellent woman herself. We have 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 5-time WNBA All-Star, newly of the Las Vegas Aces. Angel McCoughtry is here as well. What's up, Angel? And finally, one of the up-and-coming young stars of the league, 2018 first-round draft pick, Lexie Brown of the Minnesota Lynx is with us.
Let's keep it real about the sexism that women in professional sports face.
It's been hard for me to understand men specifically, why they have such a problem with women being good at anything. Not even just sports, just anything. It's weird. I can't figure it out. I can't wrap my mind around it. Like, men can be good at things and women can be good at things. Like, it's that simple. I mean, we must be doing something right because people are upset at how amazing and successful we are.
I want to dig deep. And I asked my male friends, I'm like, when you guys were younger, what were you taught about women? That women couldn't do anything? Or they were like, no, we were just taught, just be easy on girls. They, not too rough. But I'm like, nobody ever taught you to knock a woman in sport. They were like, no. So where does it come from? Is it a taught behavior?
The WNBA gets the brunt of stuff sometimes, of the criticism. How do you feel society views female athletes? And is there a separation with how WNBA athletes are celebrated versus other female athletes at all? Or do you feel this is it's happening the same to every group?
I think that it hurts basketball a little more. When you compare tennis players, they're both hitting over a racket, a net. Yeah, the men hit a little harder, but the difference is they're not as great. Women's soccer, men's soccer, the men are probably faster, they probably kick a little harder. But to me, the differences don't show. But to compare the way I jump to try to do a layup to the way LeBron jumps to do a dunk, the comparison is so great compared to hitting the ball over net or kicking it in the net. That's what I think is the difference.
I agree.
And that's why I think we get so much more backlash than any other women's sport, because the differences are so great that you can notice, if that makes sense.
Let's keep it real about being a Black woman in America.
I feel like it's the Caucasian man, the Caucasian woman, the Black woman, then the Black man.
Tell me about it.
Just living life and experiencing, this is just from my experiences. It's so hard for a Black man. I feel like in society, we have it a step up than them. They're ready to shoot them any second. Of course, we have Breonna Taylor and Sandra Bland and other people like that, but it's so hard for our Black man.
I agree with Angel when she says it's the white man, the white woman, the Black man. If you walk out the door and if a policeman sees a Black man, he immediately goes to, where's my gun? Where's my mace? He's bigger than me. He's taller than me. He's probably stronger than me. I have a 23-year-old son, and it terrifies me every day when he walks out the house, even if he's just going to a gym to work out. And we should not have to live in this country being terrified of leaving our house to go to a grocery store, to go to a Wendy's, to go to the gym, and not knowing if we're going to come home alive. That's what terrifies me every day when I wake up. And at some point, Angel said it, I don't know what it's going to take to change, but something's got to be different. I think we all can see throughout with the protests that things are slowly changing. And as much as I hate to say this, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better.
Well, the list of hierarchy, that's something that I've personally never heard before, and I definitely respect that outlook. My dad just shared his story. He had an incident with the police when he was a player that he had never shared with me before. Until recently, I had no idea. I didn't know that he was gunned down at the ATM when he was a professional basketball player. I had no idea. So him sharing that with me, but I also agree with that statement that Black women are neglected, and not in the way of, when people look at us, they like look past us, things like that. I think it's in the way that we carry so much, and very rarely are people like, how are you? Are you okay? All these situations, you see Black women fighting so hard all the time. And on the same note, when it's time for someone to fight for us, there's nobody but us. So I mean, it's little things like that. You want to fight so hard for everybody, but when it's time for us and our safety and our mental health and people to love us, I feel like sometimes we're looking around and you're like, why don't we have anybody out here supporting us?
I do think it's interesting and powerful. I asked a question about the needs of a Black woman in America, and the first two things out of Angel's and Sheryl's mouth was how to protect and uplift our Black men. I think that's valid and fair. And I see, Sheryl, how, and then it speaks to Lexie's point of Black women will race to support and protect a lot of groups, but certainly our own, and Black men as well. So that was powerful and beautiful. But Sheryl, to see you here, you're clearly emotional and really touched by this whole conversation. You're crying over it. I loved hearing your words on protecting and the plight of Black men, but I want to take it back to Black women. Do you think Black women are being nourished and protected enough in America?
Of course not. Yeah, this is deep for me.
Mm-hmm.
I read something this morning, actually, and it was about Breonna Taylor. And it was, I think, where they said they were offering a $25,000 reward to help find the woman that burned down the Wendy's in Atlanta. But they already know who killed Breonna Taylor, and they won't arrest him. So to me, if that doesn't speak volumes as to how much we mean and how much we matter, nothing does. They walked in and murdered this young lady like a dog. And nobody talks about it anymore. It's like, oh, well. But the one thing I wonder of is, I think other people truly understand how tough and strong we are as Black women, because we are. There's a lot of stuff on our plates. Sometimes I don't think we truly understand the power that we hold as Black women. I'm a very spiritual person, and I believe that happened so that God could finally get our attention and say, people, wake up. Like, do you think if we weren't in this whole quarantine thing where we got to sit down and sit at home and really only thing we can do is watch movies and watch television, I don't know how much all of these, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Rashard Brooks, I don't know how much attention they would be getting if things were going the way they were going, right? We were all going about our business, but because there's really nothing else for us to do, all of these things are magnified now because they've been happening. It's just all of a sudden they're brought to the forefront and we're like, this can't be real. I do think the Black woman at times, no, all the time, kind of goes like people like Lexie said, they see us, but they don't see us. Like we don't matter. And I think one reason why they do that is because I think people are really intimidated or terrified of the power the Black woman really holds. But at some point, we have to realize that. At some point, we as Black people everywhere, we got to wake up and stop relying on everybody else to solve and fix our problem, the problem.
Let's keep it real about becoming a mother while playing in this league.
I remember when I got pregnant, it took me a while to even tell the league because my first thought was, what's going to happen, right? Like I had already signed my contract, and then I waited until after my first trimester to tell the league I was pregnant, but I will say they were very supportive.
Do you feel like with the new CBA that being a mother and building your family is more realistic now while you're playing and in the heat of your career?
This new CBA has definitely been amazing. But you still, like, as a woman, you still have to navigate differently than a man does when you decide to start a family.
I remember when, I think people think that women, our role is to stay home. And I know you guys have all seen this too, right? Stay in the kitchen and cook and clean and all those things. And it's funny though, because I remember when I had my son, the first year of the WNBA, and I came back and played, there was an actual NBA player, and I will not say his name, but there was an actual NBA player who said, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's out there playing basketball. She should be at home taking care of her child. Well, why can't his daddy take care of him? And let me, you know what I mean? There was an actual, Ros, and you probably know who I'm talking about. There was an actual NBA player who made that comment. Wow. And I got I was heated. Like from that moment on, I lost all respect for him. And I actually liked him as a person, as a player, lost all respect for him. So I say that because I think in a lot of people's minds, even though we're athletes and we're good at what we do, I still think there are people out there who don't really take us seriously. And those are the ones where you just got to be like, F you and keep it moving.
For me, like, I don't know how everyone else is thinking, but for like, I'm a planner. So when I decide to have a baby, like I'm gonna know, like, okay, this is when I want this to happen. I mean, I'm hoping that's how it goes for me. Up to this point,
good luck
I've been able to like plan things pretty well.
Lexie, you want children and you want to do it during your playing career?
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure. I don't want to be an old mom.
I guess, Lexie, I'm going to be an old mom. I'm already 33. I'm getting up there.
Wrong with it.
But I think, like Sheryl said, I think the rules have gotten better, and hopefully more women can be proud of being pregnant. I just look at Skylar Diggins' story where she had to hide being pregnant on playing, just, you know what I mean, because the benefits probably weren't there, or just, I don't know. But we as women should never have to do that, So I'm glad that, the WNBA did pay attention and change some things as far as that, incentives and things like that. I do want to have kids, but I can't do it while I'm playing. If I have one now, I'm done. That's where I'm at, Lexie, because when you get older, these bones
that's what I'm saying.
You know how I go, Sheryl.
But that could change. I mean, I guess when the baby comes, like, your whole life is different.
Yeah, I gotta wait till I'm done. So my plan is to at least play 5 more years, even though that's pushing it, but after that, I guess I'll have to get to work, huh?
You can do it.